that Sarah would. I think this is video number 6 or 7. I stopped keeping track, but we are now at the point where we are kind of just doing some fine tuning, and we're going to make a switchboard. And again, the reason why you would want to make a switchboard is to help people natively use your database, and so they don't have to use all the stuff on the left side, or alternatively, so they don't mess with your stuff on the left side. I actually split this database to where some of it is stuff only I can control, because when you have 30 people working in a database, unless you're backing up daily, it kind of can raise your blood pressure a little bit. So we'll start by doing a switchboard, and I'll show you to do some macros, and then we'll kind of just make some just little minor changes just so it looks a little bit more professional. Kind of going through. All right, so switchboard. First thing that we need is a blank form. We'll come up to create and we'll just do a blank form. You don't need to see this. I don't know why it's coming up all the time. So it just comes up white until you go to view and then design view. I'm going to make this a little bigger. You can drop in an image. You can put in stuff. We're going to do shared contact database. And you can make that actually bigger. So once you type that in, this is the button that I clicked right here, a label. And we can change the font. If we go to properties, we can actually change a bunch of the stuff. There's a lot of stuff inside Access that I haven't even shown you just because it's like bells and whistles. And when I was starting out with Access, there was so much stuff that just overwhelmed me that I've really tried to get at the meat of what you need to get up and going. But if you click on the All tab, there's like all these choices you can make for your Access database. Just remember, simple is good. So we'll make this a 36 on the font size. There we go. All right. Now we're making something. We've got a shared contact database. And we will put in some buttons. So we're going to add in a button here, which is a button. And we'll make this one open a form. We'll do form operations, open form, next. And we're going to make that go to form master FD, next. Open the record, we're going to leave that. And the text is going to be view fire department information. Next, we can name this button. So be open form master FD. Sometimes naming conventions are really important. If you're just starting out, especially like in a database you're not going to keep very long, naming is not so important. But if you are building something that's going to last for a while, have your names be something important, because somebody is going to inherit this database from you and they're going to be trying to figure out how everything interacts with everything else. So now we have one button here just to show you what it does. If I click on normal, now we've got a button. If I click on it, it brings me to the tab for Form Master FD. We'll go back here. You can, this is how I'm going back and forth. We'll go to design, we'll add a couple more buttons. So we'll click button and we'll add in a miscellaneous to run query. Pause when you need to, but remember how we had queries over here for the email lists? That's under miscellaneous and run query. We'll do chief first. I want to do a text. Email list chiefs. Next, and then we'll name it email list chiefs. Finish. We'll add in another button for miscellaneous run query. Next, we'll do infers. Text is email list infers. Next, name it. Finish. So now we have a basic switchboard where we can view a fire department and kind of go through. We have these search where we can type in the name of a fire department, or we can type in a FDID. Let's see, let's go to a different one, Y101 to Kansas City. So you can find it by FDID, you can find it by fire department name. Back on the form, if we need the chief's email list, we got it right here. And remember, I copied this over into Excel because of the nifty Excel data remove duplicates feature, which you have to have the columns highlighted before it will work. and that's because I use Mailbirch. So we've got email lists for the chiefs, we've got email lists for infers, and that is, again, just to take you back, it's based on the contacts, and it's based on, if I go to the very first ones here, it's based on which columns here have a Y in them. We're gonna smooch these a little better here. So I tag them for that query by putting a Y in the column. That's just the nomenclature that I started. It's really up to you. You can actually make these, instead of it being a Y field, you can make them a yes or no field, like the follow-up or the raw data, because the query can find yes or no fields too. There are lots and lots and lots of videos out there about access queries. There's lots and lots of Microsoft videos and Microsoft articles and so much more than what I'm showing you today. Specifically, what I'm showing you is how to set up a contact database, so I'm not getting into a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So we've got that. And from here, let's see, what do I want to show you? Oh, one of the other things that you can do now is set it to where it always opens up to this screen. So we can close this. Yes to all, I want to save. We'll call this switchboard. Sorry, I didn't save that switchboard yet. All right, one of the things that I want to do first is, you see how this says Form Master FD? If you come to Design View, and you click this button here, I think. Yes, that's it. So if you click in this square here, right click and choose Properties, you can change the caption from Form Master FD to Fire Department Info. There we go. This should work, I think. Yes, maybe. Ha, it did. I was doubting myself. So again, if you open up a form, we'll change switchboard. So we'll click on the switchboard, we'll go up to Design View, we'll click this square here, choose Properties, and instead of it being called Switchboard, we will name it Welcome. We'll close it. We have to close it. Yes. Yes. Close. Hopefully I didn't just break everything. Oops, sorry. All right. Now when we open Switchboard, it says Welcome. Okay, so let's say you got this database, you want it to always open up to the welcome screen like my contacts database always opens up to this switchboard here. So to do that, if I remember correctly, if you come over to File and Options, you can set your current database to always open up to display a form. So let me back up and do it from the start. Click on File, click Options, Current Database, and then Display Form of Switchboard, because that's the name of this form. And then you click OK. And then for it to take effect, you got to close and then come back in. So the next time it opens up, it's going to say Shared Contact Database. From here, just pretty stuff that you can do. On this sub form right here, you can get rid of this. You don't necessarily need these. I'll just kind of show you the more nuanced part of subforms. So I went to Design View, and then on this subform, I'm going to click Properties, and then there are scroll bars and control buttons. So you can turn those on, like navigation buttons and record selectors. I'm going to turn those off, and then you'll see what I mean. So see how that disappeared here? If this needed to go left and right, it would, but typically I don't have enough contacts to where I'm having to scroll one after the other. I just have a few contacts. So again, that was in Design View. You click on this thing right here, choose Properties, and they're called record selectors and navigation buttons. So you can get rid of those on your subforms, and it just makes it look a little better. We'll do it on the notes thing too. We'll do notes, and we'll get rid of record selectors and navigation buttons. We'll set those to no. We'll do the same thing on data. Just kind of makes things look a little more professional. And you can get rid of borders. You can get rid of border sizes. You can get rid of the lines that come around them. There's a whole host of stuff that you can actually do. So now you can see this goes a little faster. And now you have a contact database. Add whatever you want to your heart's desire. You can keep adding these columns. So back in the contacts, if you right click in your